Howdy ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another exciting episode of Thrilling Adventures in IT and Hospitality. So today's topic is, have you ever been so drunk the night before and had to go to work? But before that, here's a quick message. Hey all, just a quick mention here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the videos you like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which helps me. Takes 2 seconds. So thanks in advance. All right. So have you ever been out partying and you gotten really, really wasted and then you had to be at work first thing in the morning? So I was cooking. I was 18 years old, fresh 18-year-old, and I was cooking at a restaurant, night shift. And one of the guys I cooked with, he had a second job. And he cooked at a really well-known eatery in West Edmonton Mall, breakfast eatery. And he was the main line cook for the morning shift, starting at 6 a.m. So he was out one night. Now, I'm telling you the story he told me. So knowing him, I believe it, but it's up to everybody to decide for themselves. So he was telling me that he went out and he just got hammered, like fall down drunk. And he was out, and about 3 a.m. he gets home and he's got to be at work, start work in 3 hours. And he's drunk. So he's guzzling coffee at home. And, he got to the point where he wasn't sober, but he wasn't a fall down drunk either. And so he gets to the restaurant and he sets up the kitchen and, morning shift. It's eggs, it's bacon, it's sausage. None of these things are conducive to good health when you're hungover or still drunk. Like, it's really not. So he's telling me, he's cooking. He's got his flat grill there and he's cooking his eggs and he's cooking his sausage and he's feeling queasy and his stomach is rumbling and he's feeling a little bit green, but he's the only cook. So he can't leave. He is the only cook at this time. And, the waitresses, they were using one of those round things that you spin and you clip your orders on. And he said it was full. So there is absolutely no way he could leave or take a break or anything. So he reached over and he grabbed one of the big garbage pails and he pulled it over next to the grill. And if you got a weak stomach, you're not going to want to watch the rest of this video. So he's cooking, la, 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 la. And it's like, and he leans over, raw, into the garbage pail. Gets back and he's cooking. And his stomach gets weak again. Raw. And he's cooking. Okay, now this was the early 1980s. This would not fly nowadays, obviously. Well, this was frowned upon in the 80s. But when you're the only cook, who's going to call you on it? And he said he must have thrown up 7 or 8 times while cooking the eggs and the sausage and the bacon and the pancakes and just everything that was on the menu. He said it was the worst shift of his life. He said it was so disgusting. Not the vomit, just all the grease that was coming up off the grill into his pores. And the grease was coming in and it was congealing with the alcohol still in his system. And yeah, he was not having it. And yeah, he vomited, he said 6 or 7 times into the garbage pail and finished his shift, went home and swore he was off alcohol. Of course, that meant 3 days later, he was at the bar getting drunk. That's just how we did it in the 80s. I swear I'm never touching another drink in my life. Pass me that drink. So yeah, I'm going to tell one more story because that was pretty quick. So I did not vomit, but I went out drinking. And then I was the morning bartender at a restaurant in West Edmonton Mall. And this means I would be there at about, I think my shift started at 10 a.m. I'd set up the bar and then open the bar at 11. but I usually didn't get a customer until 12 to 12:30 because, like day drinkers are not, or at least back then, were not that common. So I set up the bar and, I had this big tray that I'd fill up with ice, and then I'd put beer into the ice and everything and make a nice display and everything. And I finished all that. I'm standing at the bar and I lean against the sink, the bar sink, and I close my eyes, and all of a sudden I hear, excuse me. And I sort of jolt up. I'm like, oh, sorry. How can I help you? And I look at the time. I had been standing up asleep for an hour, just standing there, leaned against the sink, passed right out to the world until a customer came and woke me up. Yeah. And of course, same thing, week later, I was out drinking as well, because that's what we did. You'd think we'd learn. You really do, but no, nobody ever learned. It's just, you drink, you get drunk, you suffer the effects the next morning, and then you're at work and it's just a punishing day. And as somebody who's cooked before, I've never done that when I was cooking because all the heat and everything, no, that is torture. So I did it when I was bartending and waitering, but no, I never did it when I was cooking. I was smart enough to not do that trick, but I knew a number of people that were not smart and they suffered the ill effects, and yeah. So that's the story for this week. I warned you. It's just the reality of the restaurant industry. If you think this doesn't happen, you are fooling yourself. This happens far more than anyone out there could ever imagine. And yeah, so anyway, that's my story for this week. If you like this video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. Always feel free to leave a comment. Leave a comment. Tell me how disgusting you found this video. And not only does it get us interacting, but it helps me with the YouTube algorithm, which gets more eyes on my videos. So, as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.